Hey SnyderCut family, I'm Cole.
I'm Nana,
and we're the Nerd Queens.
Sorry. Anyway, we are so excited because this one is our annual review video. We're going to be reviewing the year 2019, and it was amazing.
Basically, what you'll find in this video will be a little bit of a recap about everything the SnyderCut fandom has done, from fundraisers to Twitter marathons to everything in between.
It's podcasts, Comic-Cons. We've done so much. So there's a lot to unpack, a lot to see. So just pay attention.
And let's jump into it.
Oh, January 2019, it started with a bang. On 11th of January, Zack Snyder himself dropped a t-shirt design called All the Gods. The design had extreme success, and it helped to raise over $80,000. This was something amazing. It was Zack's addition into already running campaign of t-shirts, which was running since fall of 2018. And, well, let's just say it hyped up the movement.
Which then led to a event called the Snyder Shirt Reference Event that took place on Vero, where fans across the world took their time to pick apart what was left of the design on the shirt to figure out what each and every single thing meant. And it was all compiled into a single event on Vero.
The event is still on Vero. We will link this event and all the other events that we have links for in the description below. You can find them there. So let's move forward from that. We celebrated Zack's birthday. We celebrated then with Charlie making a birthday video for Zack. Again, description link will be in the description below. And Zack also had some surprises for us.
Zack also shared the birthday fun with us and announced SnyderCon on that day, which was his event at the Arts Center in Pasadena, California, which would then be nicknamed SnyderCon by those of us who love and adore him.
Yes. He also added another addition to the t-shirt campaigns that we've been having with the Ink to People, ever so amazing Ink to People. This one was to help raise funds for Arts Center, and there came the popular design that combines all his films together. It's amazing, and everybody geared up, I'd say, and we geared up for SnyderCon.
And then on the 22nd of March was the weekend that SnyderCon took place. And thanks to Vero, those of us who could not actually attend, we were able to watch the panels from home through a live stream. Those who were able to attend enjoyed panels with Zack, breaking down his films, and also watching the films with him, and also having time to have a meet and greet with Zack himself.
To kind of explain what SnyderCon was, in case you weren't around or you still don't know, it was a 3-night event where we had screenings of 3 of his director's cuts. That's important. It was director's cuts. So we got
Dawn of the Dead.
We got Watchmen, and we got Batman v Superman. And safe to say, Zack spoke on all the topics. He has been asked, and that is important, he has been asked about his Justice League. He has been asked if it's done, and he did say it's done. And that was the first big confirmation we got, that the film is done, it's ready, and it's up to Warner Brothers to release it. This caused a massive boom in the movement, I'd say.
It broke the internet.
Yeah, it pretty much did.
Also in March was also when our good friend Geraldo from TPZ was able to show Zack his anthem that he created for Zack's production company called Stone Quarry, and we'll put a clip of that song in here and a link to the
we started. There was a thing that started, and it kept going until the summer and even past the summer. It was the first Project Comic-Con fundraiser. As some of you may know, there has been a Project Comic-Con before. It took place in 2018, but there was no fundraiser for that. This was the first event of its kind where we turned to fandom and the movement and we asked to raise the money. The deal has been, and it remains since then, for every fundraiser that however much money we raise, half of it always goes to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So this was the first Project Comic-Con fundraiser. It was for San Diego Comic-Con. It was put up around April, I believe, but I might be wrong. And we're going to talk more about how much it raised when we get to the actual San Diego. But it was put up. There were multiple levels. And again, we will be talking about how much it raised when we get there. But that was not all for April.
On April 22nd, there was a video put out by Twitter name at @bmonek. Oh goodness, I'm just going to put it on the screen.
It's going to be on the screen.
Barry. He started a video event to show Warner Brothers that we are real people behind the movement and we're not just bots, and we will link that video down below.
In May, as part of our Comic-Con efforts and in order to raise some money for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the t-shirt campaign continued with a special SDCC design made by the incredibly talented Ramesh Da Silva. This design featured Darkseid in the Comic-Con logo and became quite popular as at the time, the film Exiles already broke the news about Ray Porter being cast in the role. It's still one of my favorite designs, and not only mine, as the demand was high enough for the shirt to go to see its relaunch in the fall.
June was a quiet month, but that's because we were all getting ready for July, and July was one of the biggest events of the year, San Diego Comic-Con. As Nana said earlier, in April we started the fundraising, which led to different levels, and as each level was achieved, it was another goal that we were able to then have featured at Comic-Con. And some of the biggest ones were the billboard and the bus shelter that were designed by Ramesh Da Silva and
our ever so amazing
the Merlin of Photoshop and artisticness in the movement. And I ourselves ran a scavenger hunt where we would tweet where we were at the convention, and fans would come find us, and we would give out swag on the convention floor.
We had a flyover banner that was there, which obviously caught attention, even more so maybe than the billboard and the bus shelter, especially because it was so perfectly timed. I think it's important to mention there was a big team behind San Diego Comic-Con, and everybody did absolutely amazing job putting this thing together. I think that given that it was the first event of this size that we focused on this much, there was a lot of things that we needed to figure out, and it was absolutely fantastic success, and we were very blessed to be amongst the people who could have actually been there. We had absolutely amazing ground team, amazing people who came down whether they had a badge or not, and they helped out so much. And even though I think that we try to go over events more than the names, I think they deserve a mention. So there was Kojay, there was Jeff,
and his son Gabe.
Jeff did so much. He not only donated quite a sum of money into going into these events, but he also came down. He was one of the people who had a badge, and he helped us. He helped us a lot, and he's been invaluable in this whole entire thing. We had Ben come down for a day. That was fantastic as well. There was Andy. There was Carrie. Oh my God, I would hate to forget someone.
There was also John Boy, who came with Kojay, and also our friend Kristen, as usual, the amazing Kristen. She helped us out, and our friend Sean,
who also managed to come down at least for a day, was ever so amazing. Ray Porter, as we said, our dark side. So that was amazing. We were lucky to meet him, and he's been very supportive. He's been actually so supportive. He even lended his voice to when we made a promo video for San Diego, as far as I remember. Also, as promised, let's talk about the funds that we've raised. So the community came together, and you guys have been fantastic. You put together over $28,000. So half of that went to AFSP, which was over $14,000. So that was another amazing big donation to AFSP. So San Diego Comic-Con was a massive success.
And then when we jumped right into August 2019, on August 5th, Kojay went to Sri Lanka to visit family, and during that trip he visited a local orphanage where he was able to bring art supplies for the kids and gave them some SnyderCut swag, and they were very excited and very happy about that, and it was such an amazing thing to do. We are going to link that video in the description down below. And our very own MickD went to Dublin Comic Con on the 10th of August, and he brought his sign, and he was able to rep the movement at the Dublin Comic Con.
What's very important about this little thing, it's not little thing, none of what we've done is little, but Mick's design for the sign ever since then has been used on the following Comic Cons after that. Ground teams on New York City Comic Con, but then also at CCXP in Brazil, have been using this design. And what changed? There was a significant change that happened with San Diego Comic Con and followed up to all the Comic Cons after that, and that is the fact that we were able to add American Foundation for Suicide Prevention into our posters, into our designs. So when you see it now, when you see our t-shirts, when you see all this kind of stuff, you will see the AFSP logo there, and that's kind of a big milestone. There was another big milestone in August, and that came from Jason Momoa.
Jason revealed, after spending an afternoon with Zack Snyder hanging out and giving him a gift, he revealed that he has seen the Snyder Cut, and he said it was sick.
All right, so that obviously caused another wave. There was a lot of media attention that came with it because, I mean, why wouldn't there be? And this kind of jump-started this massive 6 months that followed, or less than 6 months, but we're heading onto the 6-month mark, and it seems like we're not stopping anytime soon. So let's head into September. September movement focused on one big thing, and that was a letter campaign to Ann Sarnoff to kind of welcome her in the office and let her know that we really, really want the Snyder Cut. So the goal was send letters anywhere you are in the world. The dates varied based on where you were in the world, but the goal was the same. Write a letter to Anne and explain to her, what does Snyder Cut mean to you and why do you need to see it?
And on top of that, Team Prozac and Snyder's Amazon sent a welcome gift basket to Anne as well, just to make sure she knows how much we care about her and how much we wanted to welcome her into the family of DCEU. And then next biggest event came in October.
Yes, so ever since San Diego, we've been heading towards New York City Comic Con. That one was another big event that we were going for. There was a big plan to have a billboard on a Times Square, which was designed again by Ramesh and I believe Chris Dawson. It was amazing work, by the way. I still love that billboard. Whenever I see the video, it's absolutely great. So it was another fundraising event. There was a billboard. Again, there was a ground team present. Those signs of it, released the Snyder Cut, were everywhere. We had some amazing photos coming in on the social media, and Snyder Cut started to be the talk of the town, I'd say, thanks to that entire thing.
for the fundraising that went into our events there at NYCC, we raised over 3,000 USD for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And the special T-shirts that were made specifically for this con raised over
$2,000. So that has been another addition to our charity efforts.
Again, just like with San Diego Comic-Con, even in this case, we have to mention the ground team that worked tirelessly throughout the weekend. Special thanks belongs to Gio, Leo, Ben, Christian, and Cole, whom I unfortunately couldn't join this time. Additionally, there were people behind the scenes of both conventions, San Diego and New York alike, who deserve a mention. You can find all people involved in the description below, of course. But special thanks belongs to Will Rowlands for GoFundMe organization of both events, Lex for San Diego Comic-Con, and Vinaldo for New York City Comic-Con, where they both worked tirelessly in the background to make sure everything was perfect.
On October 5th, MickD held a Man of Steel screening in his home country of Ireland. The price of admission to attend the screening was then put towards a charity called Aware. Aware is a charity that supports individuals who suffer from depression and bipolar disorder. Throughout the screening, Mick managed to raise 1,600 euros to go towards this charity, and he also received a special shout-out video from Zack himself that was shown a few moments before the screening took place, and we'll include it in this video right here.
Hey guys, Zack Snyder. Just want to do a quick shout out and say sorry I couldn't be there tonight. I would love to have made it, but I'm here in Atlantic City shooting my movie Army of the Dead. So if you hear any groans or anything from over there, that's some zombies. Wanted to say a big thanks to Mick for putting this on. What an amazing cause, and one that's close to my heart. So thank you for that. I wanted to say enjoy the movie. Like I said, next time I'm going to be there. Okay, so thanks guys, and hope you love it.
On October 11th, an article was published by the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, written by our very own MickD, chronicling the fundraising history of the movement, and we'll put a link to that down below.
The article was shared by Zack himself, and it kind of, described our efforts up until then.
On October 16th, Matt started the SnyderCut website newsletter to keep everyone in the loop about what's going on with the movement.
Yes, it's the day when the first newsletter came out. If you guys are not subscribed, definitely do it. It's great. It keeps you up to date on everything that's been done. And Matt has done amazing work on it. So both the website and his handle will be in the description below again.
On the 19th, the official SnyderCut anthem was released, and as of December 19th, ironically, it reached 100,000 views.
This success was of course well deserved, and we'd like to thank the dedicated team that made it happen. And I apologize if I mess up your handles, because I just really suck at this stuff. Anyway, so thanks to Leo, whom you can find on Twitter at Science2323. Also Chris, whom you find at Vinaldo7. Then also at I_M_Royal_K and at Krypton Caged. And then at Instagram, you can also find the last member of the team at MikoXVX. We are going to link them all below. Or rate them down below in the description.
And then we moved into November. And as you know, or I would hope you know, November marked a second-year anniversary since
the release of Justice League.
I couldn't even say it. But anyway, we decided that we're going to be loud, and Zack supported us in that wholeheartedly. So there comes a week of the SnyderCut, I'd say. It started very randomly, well, not randomly, but it was a spur of a moment thing, and we got SnyderCut trending about a week before the anniversary. We reached over 50,000, I believe, on that first day.
And not just a week before, mind you. It was one day, once a day, a week leading up to the anniversary. Yes. For about an hour or more, the hashtag was trending on Twitter. And Zack was occasionally putting out something to tease all of us and get us hyped up for the anniversary.
And there was like a one image every day, and we've learned some serious stuff. We've learned the special highlight of that, I think, is the part where we learned that Aquaman stabs Steppenwolf, and then there is the super punch, which everybody was crazy about. And obviously, what we knew from before is that Diana decapitates Steppenwolf. So that was this one big reveal that we got during that week. And there was so much more. But it all culminated on the 17th of November. On the second year anniversary. I think that was a big turning point for this movement. There was a lot of people, big names that voiced the support. I think the main ones, aside from Jason Momoa, who voiced it before, and Ray Fisher, we also got Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck, and that was, I mean, I'm still looking at those tweets, and I'm still in disbelief that it happened.
That was another moment that, once again, the hashtag release the Snyder Cut broke the internet. And
that day we reached over 750,000 on the trends on Twitter, and I think that's fantastic. Aside from Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, of course, but there was also David Ayer, Ray Porter, Don Manganiello, Christina Rand. There was just so many people, so many. I think we can just add it down below in the description again, because we would just be here for a really, really long time. There haven't just been online events.
Following the madness and the excitement of the anniversary, members of Team Prozac did a fundraising walk for Out of the Darkness, which was a walk to raise money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and over $4,000 was raised during that walk.
This was also to raise awareness for suicide prevention. It was a very important event. Towards Thanksgiving, and we had one sad anniversary coming up. It was Autumn's birthday, and as to honor her memory, again, the fandom got together and raised an additional $3,000 for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
11/29, the I Heart ZS shirt was relaunched, but this time as a special edition. On the shoulder of the shirt was added the Release the Snyder Cut logo, and also the fact that we proudly support the AFSP. We raised over $1,000 for AFSP during that relaunch.
This, to give the context, this was the first t-shirt that was ever launched under the campaign that carries on to this day, with the t-shirts and hoodies and now even beanies and hats and tote bags, I believe, are there as well. For those of you who don't know, this is how it all began. On the screen is a little short story to how it all began, which came out on the same time as this fundraiser did. Just a little bit to explain the history of this campaign.
It was inspired.
It was inspired and endorsed by him. Mm-hmm. I think that's amazing. So that kind of sent us from November into December. And December was some more big events in store.
In December, there was CCXP, which is a convention that took place in Brazil and was attended and repped by George Saya and Barba Pedro, all with them bringing science to the convention and bringing awareness to the movement and what we're fighting for. And of course, there were many more people that also attended and helped rep the movement while they were there.
We'll share pictures. We'll try to link them all. I tell you, Brazil Comic Con was pretty explosive. We've seen some videos. A lot of people were excited for the Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman, but in all honesty, a lot of stuff that excited me the most was regarding like seeing people support the movement on the ground in there. And then there was this whole moment with Ryan Reynolds and his little SnyderCut moment there, which got the whole basically crowd going crazy. So it just showed how much we want the film. And I think CCXP, if nothing else, proved that there is a massive fan base wanting this film, and it just pushed us another step further.
On the 6th of December, the fandom challenged Subway, as in Subway sandwiches, can we get donated to the homeless this holiday season? At first, we started out with the goal of 10,000 sandwiches to be donated. But the fandom was so fast and accomplished the goal so quickly and beyond, Subway turned around and decided that they will submit over 15,000 sandwiches donated to the hungry and homeless this holiday season, and they've been tweeting release the Snyder Cut.
This caused a little Sandwich Unite mini event happening on Twitter, which was kind of fun and in the same time strange to see, but hey, all the go, we got sandwiches on our side. And then followed the event on the 8th of December. It coincided with the CCXP actually. It was an international Twitter event in an honor of CCXP. And actually one of my favorite Twitter events of the year. The event where we were supposed to tweet in our first language. So as to show Warner Brothers, once again, there are real people there and they're all over the world. I must admit, for me personally, it was a bit of a challenge because I'm not used to using my first language, especially not on Twitter, but I had a lot of fun with it, and it was fantastic to see all these languages on our Twitter wall, and I think it was very successful, and I hope that we'll see more of these events in the future because they were absolutely great.
And then on the 21st of December was Comic Fiesta Malaysia, and Twitter user at MickD was repping the movement, and we will also include, of course, pictures from the convention of cosplayers and whatnot with their sign that Meg brought down there.
On the 20th of December, there was another incredible thing that happened thanks to this movement. Lena Depp, one of our friends, launched a fundraiser which was inspired by Zack Snyder and his quote, "Powerful art can heal, create change." The goal of the fundraiser was to supply art supplies to the kids in her area that come from the poor sides of the town, and basically to keep them off the streets, keep them away from the bad things, and kind of give them inspiration throughout the art, inspire them to do great things in life, and it changed their life in general. 10% of her fundraiser also went to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. She managed to reach little over $1,100. It was yet another great thing that people came together for.
On the 20th of December, also was a flyover banner fundraised with the amount going towards AFSP was over $1,300. And this was a special flyover banner that went over Warner Brothers. It said, "And Sarnoff, please release the Snyder Cut."
It was made by Will Rowlands, who has been organizing a lot of our fundraisers. This was his kind of a solo event, I'd say. But again, it got a lot of traction. It, again, sent a clear message out there, I dare say. And we had it into Christmas with that.
And then on the 23rd of December, we had Zack Snyder's Justice League merch was launched, which was basically it was a special edition shirt and hoodie set that was launched on Ink to the People. Once again, fundraising for AFSP, where it was a shirt that had the JL logo saying Zack Snyder's Justice League including all logos of the league. And of course, pictures and links to where you can get yours will be in the description down below.
This launch coincided with an event on Twitter. The event was, again, the goal was to tweet at 2:14 p.m. at your time zone. So wherever you've been in the world, your one task was to tweet 2:14 #release the Snyder Cut at 2:14 p.m. And the merch came actually at 2:14 p.m. as well, I believe.
On the last day of the year, a Twitter account called SnyderCut started a flash fundraiser to get a banner put out at the football/soccer cup that will be taking place very soon. In the matter of a few days, they managed to fundraise enough money to have a 4-minute long flashing banner that will be shown throughout the cup, and about £2,000 was raised for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
And then at the beginning of the year, even though it already was 2020, we feel like it's worth mentioning, especially because you guys can still take part. There was an event that was started by our fellow friends from TPZ. It's called 2020 Vision, and the goal is for everybody to take a picture at their local landmark, dressed in Zack Snyder shirt, any of them, and post it on a social media with #2020vision, and of course #release the Snyder Cut. Again, the goal is clear. We want to show Warner Brothers that we are all over the world and we want to see this movie. So again, you can still take part in this one. It's just remember, hashtag is #2020vision.
And then throughout the year, we had a bunch of amazing podcasts that were a big part of the year. And notable podcasts would be Chris Wong, whose podcast is called Ping Pong Flicks, Mr. West Ashley, aka Pilly, who did Go Deep, and his show is unique because almost every other episode you can catch an episode where he has fans from around the world coming and talking on his show. And then also our friends Koj and Parademon44 started a podcast recently called Source Wall 44K.
So those are definitely worth listening to. As for jumping a little bit back, Chris Wong, as far as this podcast goes, he focuses a lot on the news. So if you want to keep up to date with everything that's going on, he puts up his show very often, I think pretty much daily, to keep us up to date to what has happened. So definitely he is worth a follow. Pilly, as Cole mentioned, he's got some really cool people from the movement coming on. There's some really cool conversation. So again, Go Deep, definitely worth mentioning. Go J and 44's podcast is a new thing. Check it out as well. To push a little bit of ourselves in, we started a podcast this August. We started with a bunch of really, really amazing ladies. It's called Snyder's Amazons, and our focus is mainly on Zack's work, about the positive stuff about it. We're breaking down his films. We're talking all this kind of stuff. So if you'd like to listen to that, that is out there as well. And last but not least, very important, are Film Exiles. They are not only podcasts, but they also add up articles. And these guys did some really, really good work. It was them who broke out the news about Ray Porter being Darkseid, and then also Peter Guinness being Desaad. And they are behind the Anniversary podcast, which was released alongside the other anniversary celebrations back in November. So Film Exiles, definitely something that you should pay attention to.
And of course, a special thanks to the boss himself, Zack Snyder, for keeping us motivated throughout the year. Every time we seem to be running out of energy, he drops something on Vero or says something in a comment, and all of a sudden we're all fired up and ready to keep fighting. And he knows how much that means to us, but we just wanted to say that once again.
Yes, with all the information that he has given us this year, all the reveals, I mean, we can be talking Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, We can be talking about gods. I use gods to kill gods. There's just so much. We wanted to focus this video mainly on new fans, so we focused a bit less about what Zack contributed, but he did so much to keep us going. And I think that together we are doing a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see the Snyder Cut with all of you.
2019 has been a huge year, and it was thanks to all of you and a lot of help that we've had throughout the year to make it as big as it can be.
Yes, so to finish this off, we have some last moment thank yous to give away. First of all, thanks to all of you who participated, whether it was just by tweeting the hashtag or if it was, participating in the events, going with us to conventions, buying the t-shirts, donating to different GoFundMe events. You did awesome work, and just keep going until we get the cut and furthermore. And then we have some more extras that we would like to mention because it's really important we do. So first of all, we'd like to thank Ink2People. We really, really appreciate their help and everything they do for us. Ink2People, if you don't know, is the company through which we have all these awesome t-shirts, whether it's All the Gods, I Heart ZS, right now Zack Snyder's Justice League Arts Center t-shirt is there as well. They've been amazing. They helped us raise a lot of money for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and there's really not much else to say. They've just been perfect. So we want to thank to Ink2People. Then we have some other thank yous to do. So.
And major shout out to Subway. They came in this holiday season and started supporting the cut. And through them, we managed to, as a Snyder Cut family, provide homeless people with meals this holiday season.
Which is amazing. So thank you, Subway. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the sandwiches, actually, because it was a Sandwich Unite kind of thing on Twitter, which was pretty cool. And then one last big thank you is to, of course, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. All the work they do, it's super, super important, and we really, really value what they do, and we are hoping that our help, our cooperation with them will carry on. And I think that should be the message of this video and of everything that we do. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is like the beacon in...
It's the rallying point that the movement is surrounded by, and everything we do is also not just for the cut, but also to help fund the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It means a lot to us, and it means a lot to the Snyder family, and we will continue doing our charity work with them, and hopefully we'll do even more next year. Well, this year now, actually.
Yeah, it's this year already.
So that's it for 2019, but if you thought 2019 was big...
2020, is here we come.
Little birdie told us 2020 is going to be a little bit bigger than you ever could have imagined. So
let's just keep going. Let's just keep pushing.
Let's see how far we can go.
Exactly.
So happy New Year.
Oh, God. Happy New Year. And hashtag release the Snyder Cut.